Right, well, if you remember earlier in the show, I asked people to phone in or text in or leave a WhatsApp message saying what they were up to today. And in fact, on the line, I think we have one of our regular listeners to the show. It's John from Basingstoke. Are you there, John?
Hello, Mark. Yes, I'm here, John. Ashe from Basingstoke. John Ashe with an E. Good to be speaking to you to lighten up my day after the blueness of the day so far. Just been outside. Here it is. Still there on the line, putting the washing out. Yeah, in the cold. Ooh. Hardly any wind. It's not going to dry.
Oh, dear.
Miserable state of affairs. Yeah, so I'll go back in now. Having a bit of a blue day today, Mark. I mean, it is Blue Monday, so I suppose that's quite fitting in a way. What can we do?
I think you're actually 2 weeks out there, John. It was 2 weeks ago.
Not next week, is it? No, it's this week. I'm sure it's this week. It's not next week, Mark. No. Yeah, and as I say, it's Blue Monday, and I feel a bit blue, and I suppose that quite fits well, doesn't it? Really. But I mean, I'd rather not be feeling this way.
No.
But you know, when you have to put washing out when it's cold, and then to top it all, the coffee machine. It's a really good coffee machine when it works, but today it's not working. I'm going to try again, see if I can get it working. I need a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Change my mood as best I can.
Yes. You need a mood-altering drug there, John.
Yeah, drug. Yeah, a bit of caffeine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's wrong with it?
Yeah, but it's the smell of the coffee, isn't it, as well?
Well, have you got one of these posh coffee makers then, John? Have you got one of these ones that makes funny noises and stuff, and cappuccino or whatever they're called? Espresso machine, that's it. Have you got one of those?
It's an espresso machine. Yeah, it is rather posh. Yeah, I have to say, we look after it, but it's a bit temperamental. Sometimes it doesn't work, and funnily enough, on a Blue Monday, it's not working. Amazing, isn't it?
Wasn't that a couple of weeks ago, John?
Oh, there you go. Can you hear it? There you go. Starting up. I thought it was. No, it's this Monday, isn't it? I'm sure it is because I read. You know where it comes from, don't you?
Yeah,
you know
I think
where this Blue Monday comes from.
Yeah, I think it's made up by a UK travel company, apparently, in one of their a 2005 press release.
No, it's not. It's a scientific thing, isn't it? Because I mean, from my experience, of course, having been a quantity surveyor for so many years, I'm used to reading peer-reviewed articles, and I'm quite sure that I once read a peer-reviewed article about this, and it was saying about how this is a particular day in the year when everybody feels really blue.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Travel company? No. You've been listening to fake news, Mark. I think that's what it is. Fake news.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave that then, John. And so, what's the problem with your coffee machine exactly? It made a funny noise just then. All our listeners heard it. Is it working all right now?
Well, it's sort of. Well, you normally hear a sort of grinding noise. But every now and again, it can start off with a grind, like, and then it can, and then you don't get any coffee out.
Oh dear.
I mean, I don't know what the problem is. My wife normally puts it right, but she's not here.
Right.
So I wonder whether it's working again. Just a minute. It needs water in it.
Okay. Yes, water would help.
There's water in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'll see.
We're all waiting with bated breath here, John.
Right, here we go. Can you hear that?
I certainly can, yes. Are you there, John? Oh.
I am. Can you hear that? Now that's so far so good.
Yes.
But I bet you it'll just stop and won't give me a coffee.
Have you thought?
It's working. It's working.
Oh, I was going to say if it doesn't work, you could always do it the old-fashioned way. You know, drop a spoonful of coffee in a mug and stick some water in it like that, straight from the kettle.
Oh, you mean like coffee powder, like Nescafe or something like that? Oh, that's disgusting. I wouldn't do that. I haven't done that for probably about 40 years.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, I used to do that when I was a young man, but I don't do it now.
Okay.
Oh, this is working. Oh, well, I don't feel quite so blue as I did.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, there we are. I've got a cup of coffee. Oh, surprise, surprise.
Go on, try it. Give us a sip and see what it's like.
Right, okay. pretty good, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad already. Oh, so sorry, I feel a bit embarrassed now because that wasn't working before, and now it is.
Oh, never
Well,
mind.
before I went out to put the washing out, it was doing the whirring thing,
Right.
and I thought, oh, well, all right, I'll phone into Mark anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cheered me up now. So what are we going to talk about then, Mark, today?
Well, I think we've sort of covered it, really, haven't we? You've cheered yourself up, and our listeners are all happy now that you're a bit less blue.
Oh, just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
That's
blue.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Travel company, you say. I'd actually quite like to go on holiday. I haven't been on holiday for a while since I went to Australia.
Oh, that's
so,
yes, I remember that.
Have you got any more? Have you got any ideas for destinations as to where we could go? I haven't really thought about it.
How far did you want to travel? I mean, how much time did you want to spend travelling? That's the question, I always think.
You mean travelling to get there, or do you mean actually when you're on holiday?
Oh, I see. No, travelling to get there.
Well, since I've been to Australia, I suppose it doesn't really matter, because you can't go any further than that, can you, really?
No, then you start coming back. How about going to China?
China? They could do China, yeah.
How about...
bit dodgy, though, isn't it?
Bit
They're
dodgy.
all communists over there.
Not all of them.
Well, I think you have to be, Mark, don't you?
Right.
I think you're expected to be. Because if you're not, I think they shout at you, or they restrict your movements and things until you say, yes, I am a communist. So
Right.
I'm not. Yeah.
What about on a cold day like this? Get ready for this, John. How about going to Chile?
Oh, right, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could do, I suppose. Go to Chile. Do you know anything about the place? Isn't that... Where is that? Is that South America?
Yeah, Central or South America, I think.
It's long, isn't it? Long and thin. I'm not sure I want to go to a long and thin country, though.
Right, okay. What about...
Well,
no.
you know, I mean, I like when I go abroad, I like to be able to travel the breadth of the country, the width.
Okay, there wouldn't be much...
on all the dimensions. But if you can go up and down, but you can't really go to the side, can you? In a place like that,
you'd be trapped.
You go to the seaside, but then you couldn't go inland very much.
There would be a lot of breadth. I mean, there'd definitely be a lot of breadth, but not.
I do like bread. I don't know anything about Chilean bread. No.
So no Chile.
But I'm game.
Are you?
Game.
Oh, I see.
Game. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they make their bread out of game. Could be a bit gamey. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? What about going closer to home? Let's take you to the other side of the coin. And how about going to the Isle of Wight? Because that's pretty close to you.
Yeah, I used to go to the Isle of Wight as a young man, and I have to say it's a very boring place. Have you ever been there?
I have.
It's like stepping back into the 1950s, isn't it?
But that's good in a way, isn't it? With all of today's problems.
Yeah, but it's like stepping back into the 1950s with all today's problems.
Right.
That's what I feel about it.
Okay.
And by the way, you said on the other side of the coin, we're talking about the Earth here. You're not a flat earther, are you, Mark?
Oh, let's not get me started on that. That's a discussion for another show.
Yeah, so you are. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I've got a bone to pick with you if you are. All right. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that another time.
Yes, all right.
Let's talk about that
But
another time.
we must make a date for that, because I have some very strong views about that.
I see. You believe the Earth is round. Well, I believe.
I know that the Earth is round.
I believe the Earth is. I believe the Earth is round, but you believe it's spherical.
Oh, it's spherical. Yeah, that's. Oh, I see. Yeah, so you do believe it's like a coin but flat. Well, yeah, we have to have a serious conversation about that, because I've done some extensive reading, scientific reading, on my, with my background as a quantity surveyor, and I can tell you very definitely that it is in fact a globe. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, so okay. we'll talk about that. Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
But no, I don't want to go to the Isle of Wight.
Right.
I want to step back in time and still be with all the problems of the world as they are today. And I don't want a thin country. I don't want to go to a communist country. So you haven't really helped me out very much, have you?
Silly. Silly?
Well, I consider you a friend still, Mark, but you didn't say that.
No, the Isle of Scilly, I meant.
Oh, No, I'm not really keen on islands, actually. Because,
Okay.
again, it's not very far to Rome once you're there.
Big islands.
Rome, I suppose.
Oh, Rome.
Go
Why
to
don't you?
Rome.
Yeah, why don't you go to Rome?
I do like Italy. I've always liked Italy.
Yeah.
Although it's a bit long and thin, so perhaps I'm going off it.
It's got more width to it though than Chile, I think, hasn't it? Fair to say.
Has it?
I think so. I think
Relatively speaking.
Well,
relatively
speaking. And also, you've got topping and telling it. You've got Venice. Well, actually, not the top, is it? Or is it? Yes, it is. Venice at the top and Sicily down the bottom. So you've got the choice of three there. You could even make a sort of
Not a
holiday.
bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Start in Venice, hop over to Italy, drive down Italy, hop over to Sicily. Bob's your uncle. That's your holiday.
I do have an Uncle Bob, actually.
Okay.
Funny. Well, I always have to mention that when people say that expression.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. We went once to St. Helena. You know where St. Helena is, don't you?
Ooh, no.
It's bang in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Waste of space. Tiny little dot of an island. We went there, thought we were going to have a holiday. It's hardly room to move around. I mean, literally, hardly move around. I don't know how the aircraft landed there.
Goodness.
It was a waste of time. Nothing to do, nothing to see. Just come home again.
Is that
But I don't recommend St. Helena.
right? Is that put you off islands then?
Pretty much has put me off islands, yeah. So I like to have space to roam around when I'm on holidays. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why we went to Australia.
Yeah. I mean, that's an island.
Well, technically.
Well, okay, John. Let's leave it there for the moment then, and we've got plenty to discuss in future calls because I'm sure you'll be calling the Mark Campbell Show again in future.
Without doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, do you have a song for us to play for you this afternoon?
I do. Yes, I'd like you to play a song sung by, though not written by, Cilla Black, please.
Okay. All right, we can do that for you. Which song do you have in mind?
I Can Sing a Rainbow. Now, it's a very old song, but I have at times danced to this, both as a young man and as a relatively older man.
Right, okay.
It's a sort of slow dance, where you wave your arms.
Arms, yeah.
That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been quite partial to that song, although...
Yes.
Am I allowed an although at the end here? Although,
John, as it's you, John, yes, you can have an although.
Right. Well, having criticised Pink Floyd for their lyrics, I have to say I do have a similar criticism here with, listen with your ears is fine, but listening with your eyes is not fine.
All right.
Not
even metaphorically.
Well, I don't know what it's supposed to mean metaphorically.
I suppose it's the same as seeing with your ears, I suppose.
Well, I guess it is, yeah. It's a load of nonsense. If people with the scientific minds such as mine, I find that sort of thing very difficult to take, but there we are. I enjoy it, though, because on the whole, it's pretty good.
Okay.
I always like Cilla Black. Although it's not by her.
Yes.
But, I like looking at her and listening to her. She's a very attractive woman.
Okay. In her time. Yeah, I'll give you that. Right, so we'll play that song for you now. We've got that on the turntable, the virtual turntable. Would you like us to give you a shout-out? Give someone a shout-out for the song.
Yes, Molly, please. I know that Molly used to like that song. She probably still does.
Okay, all right, we'll do that for you. All right, John, lovely to hear from you, and I'll leave you mulling over your choice of destination.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Help me to not feel quite so blue on this very special, I suppose, Blue Monday. Anyway, nice to speak to you on that day, Mark.
Which was last week. Right, John, okay, so, might speak to you next week then.
Yeah, Mark, right. Yeah, thanks. Good to be on the show. Yeah, I like your show. Thank you. Yeah, bye then.
Cheerio, John. Speak to you next week.
Darren's Valley's radio station.